Welcome to Department of Distance and Continuing Education, University of Delhi, Master of Business Administration, MBA, Semester 1, Core Course MBA FT 6106, Human Resource Management. Lesson 5, Compensation and Reward Management. 5.1, Learning Objectives. To be familiar with the notion of compensation and its administration, to elucidate the elements, types, and theories of compensation, to comprehend the relevance of compensation management in organizational HR strategies, to classify the various components of compensation system. 5.2, Introduction. The determination of monetary compensation rates is one of the most critical and challenging aspects of human resource management. Employee compensation decisions are critical to the success of any organization because of the total operating cost. Effective employee compensation management is critical from a financial perspective alone. Another rationale for studying compensation from an organizational point of view is to examine its impact on a wide range of employee attitudes and behaviors, and ultimately the organization's and its units' effectiveness. Compensation can influence employee attractiveness, retention, performance, job satisfaction, skill acquisition, cooperation, and flexibility. The remuneration that an employee receives in exchange for their efforts to the organization is referred to as compensation. A good remuneration strategy encourages people to work harder and more zealously. Compensation policies should be well integrated with HRM practices. It also assists firms in establishing employment criteria that are relevant, realistic, and measurable. 5.3, Concept of compensation. Compensation is a comprehensive term which includes everything an employee receives in return for his work, such as wages, salaries, allowances, benefits, and services. Cascio has defined compensation as: compensation includes direct cash payments, indirect payments in the form of employee benefits and incentives to motivate employees to strive for higher levels of productivity. Dale Yoder believes compensation is paying people for work. Keith Davis stated, compensation is what employees receive in exchange for their contribution to the organization. According to Edwin B. Filippo, the function compensation is defining as adequate and equitable remuneration of personnel for their contributions to the organizational objectives. Compensation is a form of trade in which both employees and organizations contribute something in exchange for something else. It is essential consideration in human resource management decisions. Employees regard a pay package to be fair if it meets basic living needs while also saving money for recruitment and recreation. HRM determines remuneration using strategies such as job evaluation and performance appraisal. Compensation is described as money received in exchange for labor performed, as well as a variety of services and benefits supplied to employees by an organization. Designing an efficient compensation program is a crucial function of organizational effectiveness in the globalization period. where the corporate environment has become increasingly complicated and tough. 5.3.1 Objectives of Compensation Planning. Compensation matters were frequently kept private in the past and were governed by individual employer preferences and choices. Employees now make their own judgments based on the remuneration package, and compensation policies are more transparent. Balancing salary, costs, and retaining personnel has become a significant challenge for organizations. Edwin B. Filippo believes, as far as the organization is concerned, employee compensation programs are designed to do three things. First, to attract capable employees to the organization. Second, to motivate them towards superior performance. Third, to retain their services over an extended period of time. The objectives of compensation are: ensure equity. It covers income distribution by reducing inequities, raising the wages of the lowest paid employees, protecting real wages, and the principle of equal pay for equal effort. Internal equity requires that remuneration be tied to the relative worth of a work in such a way that comparable pay is guaranteed for similar tasks. Enhanced efficiency. Attempts to link a portion of salaries to production or profit, group or individual performance, skill acquisition and application, and so on. Preparations for efficiency are equitable if they appropriately reward performance, but inequitable if the incentive is perceived to be unfair. Macroeconomic stability. An excessive high minimum wage would have a negative influence on employment numbers. Low inflation contributes to macroeconomic stability. Two of the main factors that influence economic stability are compensation and compensation policy. They either help or inhibit balanced and long-term economic development. Efficient allocation of labor. It relates to the idea of labor or employee leaving a position for a net benefit. This migration could be from one location to another, within or outside of an enterprise, or between two locations. Employers evaluate staff attrition while employees consider net gain. Attracting competent personnel. A competitive salary and other benefits help an organization attract qualified candidates. Complying with regulations. A good wage and salary system takes into account the legal challenges imposed by the government and guarantees that firms follow the law. Controlling costs. A practical compensation system assists the firm in obtaining and retaining employees at a fair cost. Enhancing administrative efficiency. A well-designed good wage and salary scheme aids in the efficient management of human resource information systems. Facilitating understanding. The compensation management system should be really clear and understandable. Retaining employees. When pay levels do not meet employees' expectations, attrition may rise. Motivating desirable behavior. Compensation is likely to promote desired behaviors from employees and act as an incentive for behavioral adjustment and future. Retaining talent. Properly designed compensation helps in retaining the competitive employees in the organization. Self-assurance to the organization. To compete in the employment market. Promote flexibility in the pay structures offered to employees. To administer pay equitably and consistently. Ensure achievement of organizational objectives by aligning compensation with employee performance. 5.3.2 Need for and importance of designing effective compensation plan. A company's most valuable asset is its human resources. To get the best out of each employee, pay and compensation must be handled exactly like any other function. It goes without saying that competitive remuneration will assist to attract and retain great individuals. It is now time to study executive and strategic compensation. Over time, compensation plans and procedures have evolved substantially. Traditional employees were relieved to receive their paychecks and little bonuses. They only needed to obey commands, carry out managerial orders, and produce outcomes to obtain job-related rewards. Their expectations were also low, but behavioral specialists have radically changed the scenario. As a result of the Industrial Revolution, work became monotonous, uninteresting, and exhausting. Thus comes the need to lure the talent with competent pay. Compensation is one of the most critical components of human resource management, and it can make or break a business. A competent compensation plan can assist organizations in thriving and competing in their respective markets. Some of the benefits of offering a competitive wage plan to employees include: ensures equity, encourage desired behavior, control HR costs, attracting competent personnel, adhere to regularity requirements, enhanced employee motivation in the workplace, enhanced employee efficiency, increased productivity and profitability through employee loyalty, improves staff engagement and job satisfaction, enhanced organizational efficiency, aids in the retention of exceptional employees, goodwill in the employment market, improved industrial relations. 5.3.3 Factors influencing compensation. The main issue that any organization faces is establishing a fair and equitable compensation system. This requires understanding of the various factors that influence compensation, such as the composition of decision-making bodies. The emphasis of an employee may be on a higher pay to offset their increased cost of living and the price they demand in a competitive job market. One of the most common differences of opinion between employers and employees is compensation. An employee's pay is determined by the amount of effort he puts in, the nature of his job, and his competence. In addition, various other internal and external influence compensation directly or indirectly. Thus, the numerous elements impacting pay are as follows. First, labor supply and demand. Wage rates rise when labor demand exceeds supply and vice versa. Second, the ability to pay refers to the employer's financial situation and willingness to pay the employee. Third, employees' relative worth. The maximum output that workers achieve on average based on their ability to execute. Compensation based on the employee's worth plays an important role in motivating employees to increase their worth too. Fourth, cost of living. Wage rate changes can be caused by the cost of living index, considering that if the cost of living is high, wages and salaries will be higher. Fifth, government regulations intended to provide justice and fairness in compensation payments. Sixth, prevailing market rate. Compensation rates set in accordance with competitors' wage levels in order to achieve both external and internal equality. Seventh, psychological and social factors. People feel that equal work should carry equal value and wages should be commensurate with their efforts. Eighth, skill levels available in the market. There is a shortage of skilled workers in many parts of the world. The wage levels have to be keep up to meet the needs of the industries need to achieve workforce. Ninth, employee union. Wage levels are also influenced by trade unions' collective bargaining power. 10th, organizations base pay levels on the value of a job. Wages and income are greater in vocations that need mental strength, jobs with a lot of responsibility, positions that require innovation and technical jobs. 11th, organizational strategies and attitude. An organization's pay approach is heavily influenced by its business strategy. Companies that implement a defensive approach, for example, will maintain salary levels that are average or lower than the market standard. 12th, organizational culture. Compensation decisions are influenced by organizational characteristics such as management philosophy, remuneration plans used by enterprises in the same industry, manner of compensation, equality criterion, performance appraisal, and so on. 5.3.4 Theories of motivation appreciating compensation. Theories in general provide a solid foundation and framework for implementing thoughts and ideas. These theories have created a number of excellent suggestions for providing a foundation for implementing compensation systems in businesses. According to Gooden, the employee compensation system is critical in efforts to improve human resource management. Every component of compensation has a behavioral purpose and seeks to meet a need and achieve a goal. It is necessary to understand some motivational theories in order to understand how compensation contributes to motivation. Figure 1 explains the various motivational theories like content theories, process theories, further on elaborated as Maslow's need hierarchy, Herzberg's two-factor theory, Alderfer's ERG theory, David McClelland's need theory, Vroom's expectancy theory, and Adams' equity theory, explained further below. Need hierarchy theory. The base pay is a means of satisfying only the lower order needs like physiological, safety, and social needs, but it goes further. Therefore, the compensation has to be a perfect combination of monetary and non-monetary components in order to cater to the different needs of the employees. Existence, relatedness, and growth, ERG theory. According to ERG theory, if a higher level need is not met, a person may regress and seek to meet lower level needs instead. For example, if an ambitious employee is not given possibilities for advancement, their motivation would suffer and they may feel delusioned. Thus, the form of compensation to be reimbursed for the employee's efforts in accordance with their expectations. Herzberg's motivation theory. It is also identified as the two-factor theory. Identifies two elements that influence workplace motivation. These are both hygiene and motivating elements. If hygiene variables are not present, an employee will work less. If motivating stimuli are available, they will be encouraged to work harder. He stated that money is not the primary motivator for employees. Equity theory. According to this theory, employee perception of their contribution to the firm and what they receive in return impact how fair they believe their work relationships are. Employees will adjust their job behavior to create equity if they perceive there is imbalance. Expectancy theory. This idea is based on the assumption that human behavior is driven by perceived requirements. This theory defines motivation strength as the value of the consequence of doing behavior and the anticipated likelihood that the outcome would materialize as a result of the activity undertaken. The possibility that a certain behavior will result in a specific first level consequence is defined as expectancy. Employees are asked to prioritize important personal goals and instruments in order to determine valence. The more certain employees are about their expectations, the more likely it is that their behavior can be predicted properly. Reinforcement theory. The repercussions of an individual's behavior, according to this theory, will affect the level of motivation. Achievement motivation theory. This theory distinguishes three types of basic needs: the need for power, the need for affiliation, and the need for achievement. The significance of these non-monetary requirements should not be underestimated when developing compensation plans. 5.4 Compensation management. Compensation management is an integral part of human resource management and helps in motivating the employees and improving organizational effectiveness. Managing compensation is a complex process. An effective compensation management program can be segregated into various sub-goals. These include equitable compensation based on relative work to the organization, payment consistency among comparable occupations, individual capability and proficiency are recognized, procedures for solving compensation issues logically. 5.4.1 Principles of Compensation Management. In his book, The Management of People at Work, D.S. Beach outlines 7 principles of compensation management. First, the organization should have a defined mechanism in place for determining differential pay levels based on divergent job needs such as differing abilities, effort, responsibility, and working conditions. Second, an attempt should be made to keep the overall wage and salary levels of the firm in accordance with those obtained in the labor market or industry. Third, adequate precautions should be made to keep people separate from occupations. Although workers are compensated based on the rate of pay for certain duties, professional and executive people should be compensated based on their abilities and accomplishments. Fourth, care should be taken to achieve equal pay for equal labor, subject to job flexibility. Variances within a pay range may be acceptable. Fifth, a strategy for developing an equal process for recognizing individual differences in ability and contribution, such as rate ranges within grade increments, wage incentive schemes, and a job promotion system should be in place. Sixth, a mechanism for dealing with salary grievances should be established. This might be successfully represented in the enterprise's standard grievance procedure. Seventh, there should be no confidential wage issue, and each employee should have a clear grasp of his or her unique wage or salary structure. Adequate attention should be made to notify employees and, if applicable, unions about the mechanism used to determine wage rates. 5.4.2 Importance Retake 5.4.2 Importance of compensation management. An effective compensation plan is vital for every business organization since it provides an incentive for employees to stay with the company. A corporation benefits from structured compensation management in the following ways. First, it strives to adequately compensate employees for their contributions to the company. Second, it sets a foundation for employee happiness and satisfaction, which decreases labor turnover and provides a solid organization. Third, it is meant to comply with several labor acts, avoiding difficulties between the employee union and management. This promotes a positive working connection between the company and the employees. It boosts employee morale, efficiency, and cooperation while also ensuring their satisfaction. To summarize, compensation management is vital since it drives individuals to do better and demonstrate their excellence, while also giving competent personnel with possibilities for growth and development. 5.4.3 Compensation Management and Other HRM Functions. Figure 2 explains the relationship between compensation management and other HRM functions. 5.4.4 Components of Compensation Management. The full compensation process should proceed as follows. An organization's HR initiatives must be consistent with its entire business plan and compensation strategy as an essential component of HR strategy comprises outlining which strategic HR objectives can be met. Compensation is designed and implemented in the organization in accordance with the compensation strategy and inputs from the external environment and internal reality. If effectively designed, compensation leads the organization to the targeted performance levels. Figure 3 explains the total compensation process from business strategy and leads towards improved performance, while leading forward towards compensation strategy, compensation structures, pay levels, total compensation. Compensation management is to equip employees with equal compensation based on their job nature, job position, and responsibilities. As a result, comprehension is split into compensation management components. They are, as explained in the figure 4, job description, job analysis, job evaluation, pay structure, salary surveys, and policies and regulations. First, job descriptions. A job description is an important component of both pay and selection systems since it outlines the function and responsibilities of a position. Employment descriptions define out all the responsibilities, requirements, functions, duties, location, environment, and other features of the job. Work descriptions can be created for individual occupations or for the entire job families. Second, job analysis. The process of assessing employment in order to create job descriptions. It entails acquiring information on the incumbent's responsibilities. Interviews, questionnaires, and observation are all methods of job analysis. The job analysis process entails obtaining information about the incumbent's duties, the nature and conditions of employment, and some basic qualifications. Third, job evaluation. It is a systematic method for determining the worth and value of each job within a company. Ranking, classification, factor comparison, and the point method are the four main strategies. To obtain a sensible job, remuneration organizations typically compare similar jobs to industry standards. Fourth, pay structures. The pay structure is designed in accordance with job evaluation. Most pay structures include numerous grades, each with its own minimum and maximum salary or wage and grade range. An organization with a defined compensation structure aids in the development of human resource branding. It can also be used to standardize pay methods. Fifth, salary surveys. Conducting surveys to acquire market data is part of compensation management. Salary budget averages inflation indicators, cost of living indicators, and typical salaries may all be included. Companies can either purchase the results of salary surveys conducted by survey suppliers or conduct their own wage surveys for a certain sector or geographic location. Sixth, policies and regulations. Government policies and regulations are another crucial component of compensation management, since they describe all of an organization's rules and regulations, as well as its do's and don'ts. Furthermore, these decibels affect the operation and limitations of an organization. 5.4.5 Job Evaluation Methods. A job evaluation is a systematic way of determining the value or worth of a job in relation to other jobs in an organization. It tries to make a systematic comparison between jobs to assess their relative worth for the purpose of establishing a rational pay structure. For example, how would one measure how well your staff performs its duties? How would you measure if an IT person is doing enough to justify his cost to the company? How would you measure if a production in charge is effectively utilizing the resources? It is done through a process of job evaluation. Job evaluation and the methods you use are vital to determine employee output. Measuring productivity is relatively easy when there is a tangible output of measurable material. However, it can get quite tricky when that isn't the case. The methods of job evaluations used to set compensation levels are point factor, factor comparison, job ranking, and job classification. First, ranking method. This approach of job rating rates jobs based on how valuable they are thought to be in comparison to other jobs. The market worth of the jobs is not considered. This approach is effective for smaller enterprises. Larger firms typically have more positions and might call for grouping the jobs. This approach, for instance, might be used if all level A personnel were put in one section, and the same for level B staff regardless of what tasks their profession required of them. Second, grading or classification methods. Jobs are categorized using this form of job appraisal based on specific traits. One factor is the degree of expertise required to perform the task. The second factor is the responsibility an individual has while performing their work. The time required to complete this job evaluation approach is not as great as it is for the other methods on the list. Lists of qualities for the job are developed by the auditor. After that, he assigns ratings or classifications to the jobs. Third, point factor method. This type of job evaluation looks at particular aspect of the job to assess how much value they provide to a job function. These elements are broken down into other categories such as abilities, obligations, and necessary work. Then a numerical weight is ascribed to these factors. In order to determine the value of the occupations, all of the contributing elements or points for a certain work are summed together and compared to other jobs. This approach makes a job internal value clear without taking market value into account. Fourth, factor comparison method. Each component is given a monetary value rather than just a numerical weighting. Due to its complexity, this strategy isn't used by many businesses. The job values that are given to employees might also be difficult to convey because they are often arbitrary. Fifth, competitive market analysis method. A corporation uses a job evaluation approach to assess where it stands in relation to the competition. This implies that comparable employment on the market is taken into account and the knowledge may originate through job ads. It's crucial to decide what your firm offers in terms of compensation because different companies within an industry may give varying salaries for the same function. Organizations can better understand the demands of each role and what goes into maintaining employee pay satisfaction by using job evaluation methodologies. Employees are sure to appreciate it if a corporation makes the effort to assess the value each person offers and gradually improves that employee's salary in accordance with the effort or competence. Case Study 1. Compensation Management. Leena is a new human resource supervisor at a huge and modern Mumbai hospital. The hospital is a medium-sized institution with cutting-edge healthcare services. It has a total of 500 employees, including 15 executives, 10 consultants, 20 managers, and 50 supervisors. There are 25 technicians, 200 nurses, and 180 administrative and support staff. The majority of these workers have bachelor's degree in medical, paramedical, business, or liberal arts fields. Leena graduated with honors from a prestigious college 5 years ago with a bachelor's degree in human resource management and began working at the hospital as an HR assistant. After 2 years on the job, she was promoted to the HR specialist in recruitment. She is overjoyed with the advancement and intends to attend graduate school to get a Master of Business Administration with a concentration in hospital administration. While working as an HR assistant in the same company, she faced a variety of compensation administration issues and complaints including delayed salary adjustments, wage distortions, an uncompetitive pay scale, and poorly constructed job analysis and job evaluation programs. She also saw a high turnover rate, particularly in the technical and professional ranks, which she attributed to insufficient salary and benefits packages. Because the HR manager was often preoccupied with labor relations issues, she felt worthless and confused of what to do. She also suspected that her country's low economic conditions, along with the subpar human resource management system, were to blame for these issues. She believes that now that she has the authority to make recommendations and influence management, she must devise a strategy for establishing a compensation system. Question. First, what do you think of Leena's suggestion? What other suggestions do you have for Leena to improve management? Second, what are the main considerations that organizations examine when creating a compensation system? 5.5 Types of compensation. According to R.S. Stuhler, compensation is such an activity through which organization on the basis of its ability and within law reasonably assesses the contribution of employees directly and indirectly for the distribution of financial and non-financial remuneration. According to Wayne F. Cascio, compensation which includes direct cash payments, indirect payments in the form of employee benefits, and incentives to motivate employee to strive for higher level of productivity is a critical component of the employment relationship. Compensation is affected by forces as diverse as labor market factors, collective bargaining, government legislation, and top management's philosophy regarding the pay benefits. Compensation is the entire amount of cash and non-monetary payments made to an employee. It is usually one of the most expensive expenses for organizations with employees. Compensation is more than just an employee regular pay. It also includes a wide range of other pay and benefits. Employee Compensation Administration is known as compensation management or wage and salary administration. It entails developing and implementing policies and programs for wages, salaries, and other kinds of employment remuneration. Wage and pay administration's primary goal is to maintain a fair wage structure and labor cost structure. Compensation management is primarily considered with providing fair, beneficial, and rational compensation to employees and employers. To comprehend how compensation works, it is divided into two components, each with its own set of objectives and expectations. The following are the numerous types of compensation in compensation management. First, direct monetary compensation. Financial compensation is a monetary payment offered to an employee in exchange for his work. Basic salary, bonus pay, incentives, overtime pay, commission pay, and variable pay are all included. Wages are a significant component of the cost of conducting business. Salary is a fixed, non-incentive payment based on hours worked. Wages could be paid hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly. Incentives are a sort of compensation approach in which remuneration is linked to output or profitability. It could be related to an individual's, a team's, or an organization's overall performance. Bonuses, profit sharing schemes, variable pay, and stock options are all examples of incentives. Indirect monetary compensation. Pensions, insurance, paid holidays, and other benefits are examples of indirect monetary compensation. These are further subdivided into mandatory and voluntary benefits. A provident fund, a gratuity scheme, a health plan, maternity leave, medical leave, and other perks are examples of mandatory. Retake. A provident fund, a gratuity scheme, a health plan, maternity leave, medical leave, and other perks are examples of mandatory benefits that a business is compelled by law to provide to its employees. Voluntary benefits are optional and provided by the employer freely. These include unpaid time off, paid holidays, family-friendly benefits, retirement benefits, and so on. Employees can now take sabbaticals, work from home possibilities, health, life, or accident insurance, company-sponsored education facilities, free transportation, subsidized meals, and free concierge services. Non-monetary compensation. These are psychological benefits offered to employees who have the impression that their abilities are valued. Employees at the senior and medium levels who prefer to work with cutting-edge technology want to be empowered. Aside from the recognition and services awards, modern firms provide essential non-monetary incentives to the employees. The figure 5 above explains in detail the various components of compensation, including both monetary compensation and non-monetary compensation. Under monetary compensation, it includes direct compensation and indirect compensation, and under non-monetary compensation, it includes rewards and recognitions. Direct compensation includes base pay and incentives, further divided into wages, salaries, commissions, piece rate, bonuses, stock options, profit sharing, and gains sharing, while indirect compensation includes pay for time not worked, overtime policy, insurance plans, security plans, employee services. 5.5.1 Monetary compensation. First, wages and salaries. Wages and salaries are typically paid on a monthly basis, while wages are frequently paid on an hourly or daily basis, whereas in the case of pay, the number of hours worked is not taken into account. Wages and salaries are subject to annual raises. They vary each employment based on the nature of the profession. They also vary each employee based on the nature of the work, seniority, and merit. Employees in the same position, such as instructors, clerks, and so on, receive the same income. Nevertheless, salaries may fluctuate from employee to employee when the number of hours worked varies. Second, incentives. Employees receive incentives, sometimes known as performance-based pay, in addition to wages and salaries. Incentives are based on workers' productivity or efficiency, sales achieved, profit made, or cost-cutting efforts. Individual reward schemes and group incentive schemes are the two types of incentive schemes. Individual incentive schemes apply to specific individual employee performance, whereas group incentive schemes apply to a group of workers who are obliged to fulfill a specified task collectively in a given period. The incentive money paid to the group is distributed equitably among the group members. Incentives are monetary or non-monetary benefits given to employees in exchange for contributing more efficiently. Piece rate wages are common in the industrial industry. The fairness of compensation is entirely determined by productivity rather than any subjective element. They are an excellent stimulator or motivator since they stimulate personnel to increase their efficiency and achieve the goal. The types of incentives are profit sharing. A typical incentive for employees to work efficiently, the organization offers a share of the earnings to them. Profit sharing plans often require firms to set a percentage of profits as a target. And if profits exceeds that target, the surplus profits are distributed to employees. It encourages employees to work efficiently in order to increase the company's revenues and share in the profits. Cooperation or stock option. Employees do not acquire ownership rights by sharing profits. Several organizations offer shares in management or participation in management paired with the profit share as an incentive to encourage efficient work from employees. The co-partnership is offered by the issuance of shares if a defined target is exceeded. Bonus. One-time extra reward given to an employee in exchange for sharing good performance. Generally, when employees meet or surpass their targets, they are paid an additional amount known as a bonus. Bonuses are also given in the form of free international excursions, paid holidays, or gold, among other things. Some businesses have a bonus program during the holiday season. Commission, a popular incentive given to employees who work in the sales department. In general, Salesperson are paid a base pay in addition to their efforts. More orders imply a higher commission. Suggestion system. Employees are compensated under the suggestion method if the organization benefits from the idea made by the employee. For example, if an employee offers a cost cutting measure, the person is compensated for making the idea. It is a very good incentive to maintain employees' initiatives levels high. Productivity linked wage incentives. These are wage rate plans in which higher wages are offered in exchange for increased productivity. In a piece pay system, efficient workers are compensated more than inefficient workers. Employees must perform effectively in order to get higher pay. Retirement benefits. To motivate employees, several firms provide retirement benefits such as pensions, provident funds, and gratuities. These incentives are appropriate for employees that require protection and safety. Third, allowances. Allowances are amounts of something that are authorized, usually within the confines of a set of rules and regulations, for a specific purpose. Other allowances are granted to employees in addition to their base income to help them meet their basic needs. Among these benefits are Dearness Allowance, DA, a benefit given to employees to protect their real income from price hikes. Dearness allowance is determined as a percentage of base wage. House Rent Allowance, HRA. Employers who do not provide employees with the living accommodations pay a house rent allowance. This allowance is calculated as a percentage of the employee's salary. City Compensatory Allowance, CCA. This is mostly granted to employees who work in metropolitan areas and other large cities where the cost of living is higher. For municipal employees, the city compensating allowance is often a predetermined monthly sum such as 30% of base pay. Transportation Allowance or Conveyance Allowance, TA. Some firms provide a transportation allowance to cover the employee's commute from home to work. Fourth, fringe benefits or perquisites. Employee benefits include medical treatment, hospitalization, accident relief, health and group insurance, canteen, uniform, recreation, and so on. In recent years, there has been a lot of emphasis on developing compensation systems that go beyond monetary compensation. We can assert that all aspects of pay management have a substantial impact on an employee's life. Pay for performance has grown in popularity among management and professional employees. Particularly among executive and senior management, money is the primary motivator for the majority of employees. Perquisites are allowances granted to executives and other higher ranking officers. They include amenities such as a corporate car, club membership, paid vacation, furnished residential bungalows, stock option plans, overseas trip benefits, and so on. 5.5.2 Non-monetary compensation. First, awards include cash, gift certificates, movie tickets, family party and food coupons, travel discounts to popular destination and other items. Second, recognition includes Employee of the Week, Month and the Year awards presented at a colorful event, has the potential to push staff to perform better. Individuals that make a positive contribution to society, go above and beyond the call of duty, or have an impact on business are recognized. Third, service awards. A loyalty award is given to employees who have worked for the company for a certain number of years. Fourth, appreciation. When an employee completes a task to the complete satisfaction of superiors, the acknowledgement of higher authority in the presence of colleagues is a quite certain reward. Fifth, challenging task. The assignment of a difficult task to promising individuals has the ability to unearth dormant brilliance in those employees. Sixth, deputation for foreign assignment. The selection of the top performers for training and significant overseas trips will definitely inspire them and raise their value and standing among their colleagues. Seventh, seeking consultation. Consultation with key individuals on strategic issues and eliciting candid inputs has a tremendous impact on morale and positive energy. Eighth, participatory opportunity. Employee participation in decision making would undoubtedly heighten up their interest and motivate them to contribute positively to the organization's goals, whether through a joint decision making autonomous work group, consultative committees, Kaizen management, collective bargaining, quality circles, suggestion committees, or other means. Ninth, power delegation and decentralization. Employee empowerment through decentralization of power, emphasis on accountability, and delegation of authority has the potential to awaken previously dormant potentials in employees. 10th, conducting of refresher training. Periodic training to renew employees' knowledge, skills, and competencies has the potential to empower and rejuvenate enterprises. 11th, provision of a pleasant working environment. The provision of a pleasant work environment such as separate cubicles, the latest electronic communication gadgets, air-conditioned rooms, secretarial facilities, a comfortable desk and chair, pleasant interior decoration, clean drinking water, relaxation facilities, and so on can assist employees in maintaining a pleasant mood and creating a mindset for churning out quality work. 12th, alternate work schedule. Alternative work schedules such as pastime work, job sharing, flexi time, cancelled work hours, work from home, the possibility to work in day shift, and so on contribute significantly to employee loyalty. 13. Liberal holidays. One of the most significant motivators for employees is the provision of various types of holidays and sabbaticals. 14th, services for career counseling and mentorship. The provision of career counseling and guidance coaching has the potential to inspire modern employees to realize their full potential. 15. Conducting events. Organizing numerous activities such as Independence Day, festivals, New Year's Day, sports events, literary events, family day, and so on fosters a sense of unity among employees. 16th, status. Relates to a job's rank, authority, responsibility, recognition, and reputation. Managers can inspire employees with esteem and self-actualization needs by promising increased position or rank in the organization. 17th, organizational climate. Relates to the relationships between superiors and subordinates. These are the characteristics that defines a company. These attributes have a direct influence on a member's behavior. Employees are always motivated in a healthy organizational environment. A positive approach adopted by managers generates a better organizational climate, but a bad approach may spoil the climate. 18th, career advancement. Managers must give employees with possibilities for advancement. When there are prospects for advancement, employees enhance their skills and efficiency in the hopes for being promoted to a higher level. Promotion is a powerful stimulant or motivator that encourages people to achieve at their peak. 19th, job enrichment. Employees become bored while completing monotonous tasks. They want professions that provide variety, and allow them to demonstrate their abilities. Employees are satisfied and motivated when they are given demanding jobs, job autonomy, and intriguing jobs. A profession that is interesting, enriching, and difficult in and off it is a great motivator or stimulant. 20th, transparency. Transparent performance appraisal reward system, award system, transfer system, career development practice promotion, and so on all contribute to a positive attitude towards the company. 21. Job security. It entails a long term relationship between personnel and the organization. A permanent or confirmation letter demonstrates work security, although work consistency gives safety and security. It can also have negative impact. Once hired, employees lose interest in their work. 22nd, well-developed communication system. Conducting regular meetings, ensuring a free flow of communication, setting deadlines, establishing clear-cut regulations, well-defined policies, processes and strategies, in-house news eliminating the dynamics in the firm and in the sector, and assisting staff in remaining optimistic in the facility. 5.5.3 Compensation process. With regard to present and future projections for monetary capacity, compensation management describes an organization's efforts to maintain a competitive compensation position within its local labor market. The environment, culture, business, and human resources strategies of the organization all influence how compensation is managed. It includes several processes related to job appraisal, market rate analysis, and job analysis. Developing and maintaining pay structures, paying for performance, skill and competence, and performance management, as well as the methods required to manage these activities. Figure 6 explains the compensation process in detail, starting with organization's strategy, compensation policy, job analysis and evaluation, analysis of contingent factors, design and implementation of compensation plan, evaluation and review. Organization's strategy. Companies that operate in various market or product types with different levels of maturity implement various tactics, corresponding compensation schemes, and a combination of various compensation techniques. As a result, it is clear that organizations adopt various tactics depending on the state of the market and match their pay plan and content to these strategies. An organization can increase its business in a developing market by taking over, merging with, or acquiring other businesses in the same industry, or by combining both of these strategies. In a mature market, the organization stabilizes and grows by making the current investment more effective rather than by making new investments. Compensation policy. The basis for setting basic pay, bonuses, benefits, and various kind of perks for different levels of employees is the compensation policy. The organizational philosophy about human resources and strategies should be connected to the policy. The foundation for job evaluation, which establishes the relative value of the various jobs within the organization, is provided by job analysis. Job analysis and evaluation. It is important to conduct a job analysis to ascertain the specifics of each position's functions, responsibilities, and accountability. Following an analysis of the jobs based on the statements in the job descriptions, the position's worth is determined from multiple angles. When designing the compensation structure for various positions, an appropriate job evaluation technique is used to ensure internal equity. Analysis of contingent factors. The operation of the human resource management system is affected by a number of elements, both internal and external, while formulating compensation plans. The state of the labor market, cost of living, economic development, social considerations, pressure from trade unions, and numerous labor laws governing pay management are examples of external influences. Design and implementation of compensation plan. A company may be able to create a compensation plan that includes base pay with provisions for wage or salary increases over time. Various incentive plans, perks, and perquisites. These are occasionally chosen by outside parties, such as pay commissions for government workers and public sector businesses. Evaluation and review. Compensation management should have a provision for evaluating and reviewing the compensation plan. A compensation plan is not a rigid and fixed one, but is dynamic since it is affected by a variety of factors. If it does not work as intended, there should be review of the plan necessitating a fresh look. 5.5.4 Total compensation equation. On the basis of the research conducted in the University of Michigan Business School on MBA students' expectation from their workplace, John E. Tropman devised a new concept of pay based on the total compensation equation with 10 variables. To recruit the greatest talent, this equation blends traditional salary with educational, emotional, and psychological benefits. It combines the monetary and non-monetary benefits to create effective employee-focused compensation package. Total compensation TC is equal to base pay BP plus augmented pay, one-time payment AP plus indirect pay or benefits IP plus works pay, employer subsidized equipment plus perks pay, special benefits plus opportunity for role advancement OA plus opportunity for growth training OG plus emotional income EI plus quality of life QL plus any unique element denoted by X. 5.5.5 Challenges in compensation design. First, establishing fair and equitable remuneration. Employee remuneration should be fair both internally and externally. Comparable remuneration for comparable work is referred to as internal equity. In other words, wage differences between positions should be proportional to differences in work value. External equality implies that a position's wage should be equal to the pay for a comparable job in another organization. Payment is determined by job needs, employee performance, and industry levels, reducing favoritism and pay discrepancies. Second, to improve the company's public image. The wage and compensation program seeks to portray a progressive employer while conforming to legal wage and pay regulations. Third, cost control. Labor and administrative expenditures can be handled in accordance with the company's ability to pay by utilizing effective wage and compensation administration. It simplifies payroll administration and control. The company may plan and regulate labor expenditures in a methodical manner, payroll budgeting. Fourth, attracting competent personnel. Wage and salary administration that is well managed aids in recruitment of qualified and diligent workers by assuring enough pay for all occupations. Fifth, clarity. To ensure uniform and consistent application, wage and salary plans should be established explicitly in writing. Sixth, to enhance the union management relationship, wages and compensation based on systematic job analysis and current pay levels are more acceptable to trade unions. As a result, good wage and salary management streamlines collective bargaining and pay talks. It lessens complaints about wage disparities. Seventh, wage policy development and implementation. Management should ensure that employees are aware of and understand the company's wage policy. Workers should be involved in the development and implementation of wage policies. Eighth, flexibility. Wage and salary plans should be adequately adaptable or sensitive to changes in the organization's internal and external conditions. Ninth, retain current employees. The corporation can retain its staff by giving a competitive wage. It can reduce employee turnover and boost employee loyalty. 10th, in both interests, wage policies should be created with the interest of employees, employers, customers, and the community in mind. 11th, increase production. Good wage and salary administration improves employee motivation and morale, which leads to increased productivity. 12th, compensation decision. All pay and salary decisions should be reviewed against the wage policy criteria. 13th, periodic changes. Wage policies and programs should be evaluated and altered on a regular basis to reflect changing needs. 14. Consistent. Wage and wage plans should be aligned with the overall strategies of the company. Financial planning should incorporate compensation planning. 15th, wage and salary plans should simplify and expedite the administrative process. 16th, for compensation determination and administration, a suitable database and an appropriate organizational structure should be constructed. Case study 2. Paid time off. Too little or too much? You recently completed an analysis of data for the current salary and benefits scheme. You discover that certain modifications should be done because the majority of your employees, 120 in total, are dissatisfied with the services provided. In truth, the plan had not been amended in almost 15 years, putting it out of date and in desperate need of updating. One of the key sources of disagreement is the organization's PTO policy. Employees believe that the current system of sick and vacation leave provides very little possibilities. I frequently came to work unwell, so I can still have my vacation time for my holiday, one employee explains. I have given 9 years to this organization, yet I only get 3 days more than someone who has just started. Another employee complains. Here is the most recent PTO offer. 7 days for 1 year or more, 10 days for 5 years or more, and 14 days for 10 years or more. First, what cost concerns would you consider when modifying this component of your compensation plan? Second, what other factors would you examine while designing a new PTO plan? In-text questions. First, components of wage and salary are A. Basic wage, B. Overtime wage, C. Dearness allowances, or D. All of these. Second, job analysis is used in compensation to identify or determine A. Skill levels, B. Responsibilities, C. Required level of education, or D. All of these. Third, job description identifies for a job A. Tasks, B. Duties, C. Responsibilities, or D. All of these. Fourth, compensation management is the establishment and implementation of sound policies and practices through A. Job evaluation, B. Surveys of salaries and wages, C. Both, or D. None. Fifth, compensation should be dash to efficiency and result. Sixth, payment by result is an dash scheme. Seventh, compensation is the money and other benefits received by an employer for providing dash. Eighth, dash is the method and practice for ordering the jobs with respect to their value and worth to the organization. Ninth, dash states the duties, responsibilities, and mandatory conditions of a specific job. 5.6 Reward management. In today's cutthroat economic environment, organizations are focusing on cost-effective quality improvements. A strong economy has also led to a competitive job market. Therefore, businesses need more from their employees. Those same employees want more in return. Programs for rewarding and recognizing employees are one way to ensure staff to alter their work habits and essential behavior in the interest of any organization. Thus, reward management is concerned with the policies, strategies, and procedures necessary to make sure that people are valued and rewarded for their contributions to the accomplishment of organizational goals. It contributes to the overall climate and culture of an organization, depending on how reward system is developed, administered, and managed. Employees need rewards and compensation because it will help them meet their basic financial needs while also giving them a sense of job security and appreciation for their efforts. Reward system not only attaching value to the employees but also adding value to the employers. When investing in human capital, which requires a reasonable return, it is appropriate to pay people differently based on their contributions. The reward management philosophy acknowledges that it must be strategic in the sense that it addresses more long-term issues regarding how people should be valued for what they accomplish. Reward strategies must flow from the business strategy, as must the procedure needed to implement them. Reward is a composite of all organizational mechanisms used to finally acknowledge behavior and performance of employees. It includes all forms of compensation, non-monetary awards and training opportunities, recognition, promotions, working conditions, assignments, etc. It is a part of enhancing motivation, loyalty, and satisfaction, emphasizing on career job security, opportunities, learning opportunities, recognition, achievements, etc. It is more potential in focus to unleash the underlying potentials of employees, to secure command and control and create persistent commitment. 5.6.1 Types of rewards. Extrinsic rewards. Extrinsic rewards are those that aren't directly related to the job, like salary or working conditions. In their study, Gupta and Shaw in 1998 came to the conclusion that monetary incentives are indeed effective. They adopted the stance that not all jobs are engaging and difficult by nature. In an ideal world, everyone would be intrinsically motivated and rewarded. But this is frequently not the case in workplaces. They came to the conclusion that because of the symbolic and practical value that money carries, it matters to the majority of us and motivates us. Money's symbolic value summarizes how we and others view it, whereas its instrumental value refers to the benefits we can obtain from exchanging it. Intrinsic rewards. Intrinsic rewards are the intangible, non financial benefits that come with a job, such as the tasks, interesting and challenging work, and training opportunities that are available to employees. Acknowledgement and praise are the most effective intrinsic rewards an employee wants to hear because they want to feel like they are contributing at work and they get motivated to work more enthusiastically. 5.6.2 Objectives of Reward Management. In India, the main goal of employee rewards is to support the achievement of organizational, strategic, and immediate goals. This aids in guaranteeing the availability of qualified, competent, devoted, and highly motivated individuals. The majority of organizations in India believe that rewarding employees is the only effective way to encourage them to perform better. Reward employees for the value they create, to give employees sense of job satisfaction, reward the proper actions to send the proper message about the behavior and results that matter, reward employees according to what the organization values and wants to pay for, create a culture of performance in an organization, to motivate employees and acquire their commitment towards organization, aid in attracting and keeping the top talent the organization requires, align reward practices with both organization goals and employees' values. 5.6.3 Principles for setting proper reward management system. Most organizations employ a variety of rewards: money, trophies, certificates of achievement, public acclaim, official perquisites, special assignment, get-togethers, and other meaningful considerations are few examples of recognition and rewards. The most prevalent ones are pay or salary, incentive programs, perks and benefits, and awards. The majority of employees consider their pay to be the most significant reward for their labor, and some employees might not actually be motivated by money. Surprisingly, there isn't any solid proof that higher salaries inevitably result in better performance. Therefore, the benefit of a well-designed reward management system will lead to increase in performance and motivation. Operate fairly. Biasness should not be there. All employees should believe they are treated fairly and are valued accordingly. Apply rightfully. People within the organizations are appropriately rewarded in comparison to others. Job relativeness is measured as objectively as possible, and equal pay is offered for work of equal value. Preference of employees. The rewards that are offered must appeal to the employees. Cash rewards are preferred by employees. Some employees enjoy having their names appear in the company newsletter. Others enjoy the attention that award ceremonies and public recognition. Consistent process. Pay decisions do not vary arbitrarily or without explanation among employees. It should be a consistent process. Transparent. Employees should be aware of the reward process. The system must be simple and easy to understand. Performance standard. Establish performance guidelines that the team can control. Employees' involvement. include employees in the reward process and give them the authority to carry out the necessary tasks to ensure participation in the reward system. 5.6.4 Designing effective reward system. While designing reward system, four main points arises: that whom to reward, what to reward, how to assess the reward's winner, and how it should be given. First, whom to reward: individual employees, teams, the organization, outsiders like customers, suppliers, vendors, etc. Second, what to reward: performance at organizational levels or departmental level or individual level, speed and efficiency, loyalty, innovation, upholding values, technical solutions, learning, good behavior, event management, social concern, etc. Third, how to reward. Rewarding employees depends upon organization to organization. It can be given at organizational level or department or individual level. Third, how to assess. Assessment can be done by the senior by assessing one's performance, project-wise or yearly basis. Filling of survey, forms or questionnaire can be filled by the team leaders or peer group depending upon the type of organization. Lastly, what to reward. Empowerment, recognition, career growth, development, celebration and fun. 5.6.5 Total reward system. It includes both monetary and non-monetary components such as salary, variable pay, a demanding work environment, employee benefits, growth opportunities, and so on. It encompasses both indirect and direct benefits, as well as internal and extrinsic rewards. Each facet of reward is connected together and addressed as an integrated and logical whole, including basic pay, contingent pay, employee benefits, and non-financial incentives, which include intrinsic rewards from the work itself. Total reward combines the influence of the two major reward categories. First, transactional rewards. Concrete rewards resulting from pay and benefit transactions between the employer and employees. Second, relational rewards. Intangible rewards related to learning and growth and work experience. A whole reward approach is universal. Confidence is not placed in one or two reward mechanisms acting in isolation. Instead, every method in which employees can be rewarded and find job satisfaction via their work is considered. The goal is to optimize the combined impact of a variety of reward efforts on job commitment, motivation, and engagement. 5.6.6 The significance of total reward. The idea of total reward basically asserts that rewarding people involves more than just giving them money. A total reward strategy, according to O'Neill, 1998, is essential for addressing the problems brought on by hiring and retaining employees as well as for influencing behavior. It can help create a work experience that meets the needs of employees and encourages them to contribute extra effort by developing a deal that addresses a broad range of issues and by spending reward dollars where they will be most effective in addressing workers' shifting values. The advantages of a comprehensive incentive system are as follows. Greater effect. The combined impact of the many sorts of awards will have a deeper and longer lasting influence on employee motivation and commitment. Improving job connection. A total rewards approach to work makes the best use of both relational and transactional rewards. Flexibility to accommodate employees' needs. Milkovich and Bloom in 1998 in their study stated that relational awards may bind individuals more strongly to the organization because they can answer those special individual needs. Talent management. Relational rewards aid in the creation of a favorable psychological contract, which is much harder to replicate than individual pay practices and can act as a differentiator in the recruitment market. The company can develop into an employer of choice and a great place to work, luring and keeping the talented individual it requires. In-text questions. 10th. Dash is a comprehensive system to compensate and reward employees fairly and consistently. 11th. Which of the following is an example of a non-financial reward? A. Bonuses. B. Commissions. C. Health insurance. Or D. Employee recognition programs. 12th. A reward management strategy is essential for A. Job evaluation. B. Human resource planning. C. Motivating employees. Or D. Compliance with employment laws. 13. Performance-related pay systems. A. Tie rewards to firm profitability. B. Are easy to implement and measure. C. Tie rewards to employee effort. Or D. Result in negligible increase in output. 14th. Dash result in negligible increase in output. 15th. Rewards may be of two kinds, dash and dash rewards. 5.7. Summary. Compensation is a reward that organization provides to employees. As a result, the parties must have a common understanding. Attractive remuneration allows a company to attract, retain, and motivate skilled employees. Employees examine the fairness of the link between their performance and the rewards associated with that performance. Remuneration is the single most important HR activity with an impact on all other tasks such as recruitment, promotion, and job appraisal. Because employee compensation consumes a large portion of the corporate budget, a compensation package is an important component of the overall strategic HRM plan. Salary, bonuses, healthcare plans, and other forms of compensation can all be included in a compensation package. The purpose of pay are to attract people to work for your organization and to keep the ones who are currently there. Compensation is often used to encourage individuals to perform their best and boost morale. Employees that are appropriately compensated are more likely to deliver excellent customer service, which can lead to organizational growth and development. Thank you for listening.